Hello, my name is Albertus Yulian, student number 078 from TEFL Class A. In this video, I will talk about how to write an articles. Before we start, what is an article exactly? An article is a kind of writing that is written to reach a massive audience with the help of the press. In this case, the press refers to the publishing houses of newspapers, magazines, journals, and etc. Before we start to write anything, we first need to plan what we are going to write in the articles, while also considering these several points. First, we need to consider the audience, purpose, and main points of our article. What I mean by audience is who are you writing for? The intended audience will obviously vary depending on your topic or what you're writing about, and this definitely will affect the style of your writing. The next is the purpose. By purpose is what is the purpose of the article. It is what you're trying to do with it. So you might write to attempt to persuade your audience of a particular argument, or maybe you just try to entertain them with your article. While the main points is once you have considered the audience and the purpose, you can now brainstorm the main or key ideas that will form your article, and it is very important that you plan in order to have a clear and organized structure. Also, it helps you to write in a clear way. Next, we will discuss about several different wide range of different purposes, including informing and persuading. It is the purpose in more details. In short, we will start first with the informing article or the informative article. Some articles are intended to inform people about current events, so that things that are in the news, they usually report the facts about the news in an unemotional way, and this is what makes it informative. Second type is the persuasive article. This kind of article, the purpose of this kind of article is to persuade the reader with certain argument or opinion. This type of article are much more emotional than the informative was, in the way that they report on current affairs or the current events. So the writer might offer their own opinion or viewpoints in the events in this type of article. Meanwhile, some articles are intended to be more entertaining than informative. They can also be informative and entertaining, but entertaining piece might be an opinion piece on an interesting topic or still about the current affairs. Newspapers usually fall into one of the two categories. It is the tabloids and the broadsheet newspaper. So tabloids is newspapers that report sensational stories. By sensationals, I mean to create excitement, to create interest. Its main purpose is to entertain the readers. Meanwhile, broadsheets newspaper are generally considered to be more serious and formal than the tabloids. Now this is an example of the first part of an article. We're going to look at how to lay out our newspaper article. You don't need to read the article info in this because this is just a first section and it is incomplete. First, the article should have a headline, which in this case is "Say Goodbye to Retain." It should also have a subheadline, which in this case is "We need to take this heat wave more seriously." And news articles usually written in short paragraphs like this. So, what is a headline? A headline is the main title of your article. It should be brief and catchy. It should draw attention to the key ideas that you will discuss in your article. The main purpose of the headline is to tell the reader what you will discuss and possibly include your key argument, and it should be interesting and engaging. For example, take a look at the right-hand side. It is a headline of a certain article. Waging war, peaceful is more powerful. This article uses alliteration. We can see the sound of W and P are repeated to add emphasis to keywords in the headline. This article also uses a rhetorical question to establish the topic of the article about war and peace. This article also states an opinion, and it is stated from the beginning in the headline, where the headline states that peace is more powerful. This is the author's opinion. It tells the reader what to expect and what the argument will be in the article later down the road. A subheadline. Subheadline is a sentence that explains the headline in a more detailed way. On the example on the right, the headline was "Say Goodbye to Retain." It was catchy, but it didn't give you much of an idea of what the article would be about. Therefore, a subheadline with additional information, additional details added to that headline, and it is necessary. Next is the general structure of an article. The common structure used in an article are as follows. First, it is started by introduction, followed by the main body, and finally ended with a conclusion. In an article, you will generally use introduction to outline the general ideas in the article, and there are many ways you can write an introduction. You could first state your opinion on the topic. You could also start with an interesting fact or statistic, or you could start by posing a problem which your article later then attempt to solve. Sometimes it's also really interesting to begin with anecdote or a shared personal true story, which could be funny or could be serious. Another way is to engage the reader with a shocking fact, so that it catches their attention. Now is the main body. The main body is where you develop your key arguments. You can link your ideas using connectives such as additionally. However, it is also good to consider multiple opinions in an article, but in an exam you might be specifically asked to argue for or against something. When you are writing the main body, you can vary the lengths of your paragraphs. These different lengths of paragraphs can lend an emphasis to different ideas and help to make your argument more persuasive. Let's take a look at this example right here. It says, some people think that some good can come from war. They argue that in the long term, it can help save people. They are wrong. This article sets out a contrasting opinion that the author disagrees with. We can see this by the sentence starter, some people think. Next, the author then used a short one-sentence paragraph for dramatic effects. They are wrong. You can also use a subheading to divide the main body of your article. A subheading is different to a subheadline because subheading is a short title that gives you a particular section in the article and you can use them throughout the article. Whereas subheadline would come only once under the headline at the very beginning of the article. The subheading should be short and engaging as they would summarize the main point of a section, but try not to give too much away. Here are some examples of the subheadings. Blinded by war, might is not right, and let's make a peaceful future. These subheadings offer short and catchy overviews of the different sections of the article, and it can help the reader skim and read the important points of the articles. Finally, you will want to end your article with a conclusion. This is where you end your arguments and bring your article to a close as with introduction. In the conclusion, you can summarize or you could sum up what you've been arguing in the article, or you could give your opinion on the topic if you have not already done so. Or you can also use the conclusion to ask a question or to bring up new idea in this conclusion. Here's an example. In the end, we're all judged by history. History will show that peace is the only way forward. Peace is powerful. In this conclusion, we can see that the article has come full circle back to the headline ending with phrase peace is powerful, which was used in the headline back at the very beginning. Now let's summarize what we have learned today about writing articles. First, you need to plan, and so you should consider the audience, purpose, and main points of your article before you begin writing. It is also a good idea to make a headline short and catchy. You should also develop your arguments in the main body to try to link your ideas with connectives and try to use varied sentence structures and paragraph structures within the body of the text. You can also use subheadings to divide up the main sections. Lastly, you must conclude your article in some way you could summarize the ideas you have discussed, state your opinion, or pose a new question entirely. Remember to plan your response, consider the audience purpose, and plan the main points of your articles. That's it for today, and I will be ending this video. If you have any question, you can contact me, and see you in another opportunity. Thank you.